on. We gave the Olam enough time to get on. Yeah. All right, let's go. So, I didn't send out the Chazorah from Friday. Right, so the Daf Kufay was Friday's Daf. So it starts with all different examples of Netrikan in the Torah. Then the Mishna says a Machlokes if you write one letter in the morning, one letter in the afternoon. So we said, the Gemara says that's a Machlokes between Rav Gamliel and the Chachamim, whether we say Yesh Yediyah Lechatzi Shir or not. That was the end of that parak. And then parak Rabbi Lezer, the Mishnah starts Machlokes of the measurements of weaving, whether it's 2 stitches or 3 stitches and 1 stitch on something that's already weaved, and then the measurement for making batei nirin. I think where it says the difference between thick thread and thin thread. One bright, then the Gemara says of braysa like Rabbi Lezer and one like the Chachamim, and then explanation of what batei nirin is and what a kirus is. It's a different type of loom. And then the Gemara wants to know why the Mishnah repeats sewing and cutting if it's already in the Mishnah 30 blot ago by Lamitas Malachas. Then we said tearing in order to fix is if sometimes you have to tear the garment in order to repair it. That's tearing in order to fix. And Amud Beis is, then we had the whole Gemara of tearing for anger, right? So then we had a stira between the Mishna and the braysa, whether you're chayav for tearing for anger, all the different people that we have to tear kriya for. And then we said kilkul, you're not chayav for kilkul. And yeah, so that's basically it. So then we were in the middle of these Gemaras towards the bottom of how you're supposed to properly say hespedim on people. Yeah. So I think we left it off. Amar R Shimon Ben Pazi. It's 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 wide lines down. Yeah. The Olam has it. It's a quick daf tonight, so it should be a quick daf tonight. Look at Amud Aleph, nice and small. At least, unless you do Tosfos, then it's not a quick daf. All right.
Should I mute Gershi now?
Are you ready? You're starting up with it, but it's 5 minutes into the week.
Preemptive mute.
You don't have to mute him at all.
Shabbos
His
is over
headphones
for
don't work. He mutes himself.
There you go.
He's still on Shabbos, no?
No, he's there. He's there.
Not quite. Matzah Shabbos was 6 minutes ago.
Wow. It's the reason Makdimin. Givaldik. So Amar R Shimon Ben Pazi. Yeah, Amar Rav Yeshua. Amar Rav Yeshua. Malay Mishum Bar Kapra. Kol Amar Demois Al Adam Kasher. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seifrim U'Manichim V'Beis K'Nozov. Anybody who cries for an Adam Kasher that dies, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu counts them and puts them in his storage house. The Shenemar Nudi Sefarta Ata Sima Demasi Benoitcha. Haloi B'Sifrasecha. So you see that you're putting it the tears in a jug, and they're going to be counted. So now we go the other side. Somebody who's lazy, saying Hespedim on a chacham, he should be buried when he's alive, meaning he should have a shorter life. Shenemar Yikru Oisei B'Gvul Nachalasai B'Timna Sarach Asher B'Har Ephraim Mitzafan Lahar Gosh So Milamed Sherog Ashalei and Har Lahargan. Right, that the Har wanted to go and kill them because they didn't do proper hespedim. If you're lazy and a hesped of a chacham, you're not going to have a long life. Mida keneged mida. Now it's interesting because the first Gemara says the person should be buried alive. The second Gemara says you just won't have long life. Right, so I don't know if there's a disagreement between that, or I mean, l'chayr, there's a difference between the life getting cut short and your life getting cut short and not just having an extended life, right? Fine. Eisvei, so Eisvei Ravina, Rav Chia bar Abba, Rav Yochanan. Rav Chia bar Abba asked the kasher Rav Yochanan, "Vayavdu ha'am." Es Hashem kol yimei Yeshua v'chol yimei azkeinu asher arichu yamim achari Yeshua. And the people were oived Hashem all the days of Yeshua and the zakenim, and that the zakenim had a long life after Yeshua. Amalei bevlai yamim harichu shanim loy harichu. So what it means is that they had long days, right? But not long, how's it go? Days, they had long days, they did not have long years, right? That's what it's saying. Good? Fine. It says it should be, you should have long days, and the days of you should have long days, and your kids. Yamim v'loy shonim. And does that mean that you should have days and not years? So should we say bracha shani? No, a bracha is different. A bracha you can have just for days and not years. Right, this is unfortunately a Gemara that's very often quoted when somebody young is nifter. Right, when one of the brothers dies, and everybody should start being scared. If one of the Bnei Chabura dies, then the whole Chabura should be scared. So there's two versions. Some say that the Gadol is the one that died, meaning the Gadol of the Chabura died, and that's when you gotta be scared, because if the one that's the best in the Chabura dies, so then Kol Sheken everybody else, right? And some say no, it's the other way around, that it's when the smallest of the Chabura dies, because usually bad things start from the least of the Chabura. That's what Rashi says. Kakala maschilim in akotan. Right? Bad things start from the smallest. Okay. Any sort of destruction, you're potter on. Tani Rabavo, Kameda Rav Yochanan. Kol makalkul peturin. All destruction you're potter on Shabbos, chutz michayvel umavir, except if you damage somebody, or meaning kill somebody, umavir, or you burn something. Now, why would you be chayiv on those? Right? So Rashi says because you're going to be chayiv. Rashi doesn't say kimle b'duramine, but that's what he means, right? Because you're chayiv misa. So since you're chayiv misa, so you're not going to be chayiv on anything else, right? And by mavir, right? So that's also you're going to be nidam by your nefesh, meaning you either lit somebody up or you killed somebody. So Amalei puk tani lebra, go take this outside. Chayvul mavir ain't a Mishna. What you just said is not a Mishna, meaning he's disagreeing with him. Vim tim tzaloymar, and if you're going to say Mishna, if you want to say that it is a Mishna, chayvul b'tzarach lekalboy. There it's talking about where the chayvul is not destruction. He is hurting somebody because he needs the blood for his dog, right? So that's not a kilkul. Meaning kilkul is normally when you're just doing destruction. But if you're hurting somebody and making them bleed because you need the blood for your dog to eat, that's not a kilkul. You're actually doing something positive with it. And mavir is b'tzarach la'efroi, and the burning up the field is where you needed ashes. So since you needed ashes, so that's going to be why you need it. So it's not kilkul. You're actually doing something constructive. Oh, so that's what he said. So really, but if it would be straight kilkul, he said you'd still be potter, right? Oh, so Gemara says v'anan tanan kol makalkulin peturin, but the Mishna says all makalkulin are potter, right? One second. Something. Did I lose the place here? Did I skip something? No, right. Well, we said all makalkulin are potter. Masnisim Rabbi Yehuda, braysa Rab Shimon. No, it's not a stira because the Mishna is talking about according to Rabbi Yehuda, and the braysa is according to Rab Shimon. My time is the Rab Shimon. Why does Rab Shimon hold that you would be you'd be potter? Yeah. My time is the Rab Shimon. Yeah, it's called Mishra Mila. This that the Torah needed to allow you to make Mila on Shabbos. Ha chayvel ba'alma chayiv. It's mashma that chayvel ba'alma is chayiv. I'm sorry. Did I say Rab Shimon's potter? I mean Rab Shimon is chayiv. Yeah, right. Masnisim Rabbi Yehuda, braysa Rab Shimon. My time to Rab Shimon. Why does Rab Shimon say chayiv? It's called Mishra Mila. Why did it meaning that if you have a Mila on Shabbos, are you allowed to do it? Yes, right? But the Torah needs to tell us a special limud that you're allowed to give a bris on Shabbos. Why do you need that special limud for? A bris is destruction, right? You're breaking something on a guy's body, on the person's body that he's doing a milah, right? So why do I need a special pasuk? Elamai must be that destruction is chayiv, and I need a pasuk to tell you by Shabbos, by a bris on Shabbos, that you're allowed. That's one raya. And this that the Torah tells you that you're not allowed to do burning of a bas kohen, which means that you're pouring the hot lead down her throat. So therefore, it's going to tell you that stamazai doing ma'avir ba'alma would be chayiv on Shabbos. Rabbi Yehuda has a masakin who, no, there it's a masakin, because Ravashi, mali l'sakin mila, mali l'sakin kli, mali l'vashal psila, mali l'vashal samonin. No, both of them are tikkun. What's the difference between when you're doing mila, you're fixing the person, right? Right? When somebody doesn't have a bris, and now you're giving him a bris, that's not kilkul. It is kilkul on the body, but you're accomplishing something with that kilkul, right? Because you're making the person into a gemal, you're fixing the person, right? And so why is that any different than a kli, right? And the same thing, mali levashal psila. What's the difference with cooking a psila, a wick, right? Mali levashal samanin. What's the difference between doing that and doing samanin in the Mishkan, which is what they did? You know, they burned the what do you call it? The herbs. There you go. I actually remembered. Yeah. Fine. Okay, so that's the machlokes, whether makalkal Chabura. It's a major sugya about kilkul b'chabura, and exactly how we learn all these things out. Okay, shir amalav. Yeah.
Excuse me a minute. So by a man, you see a person has to do an action to make a man perfect. Rebbeinu Shalom sent down a man not perfect. He wants the action of a key to make the man perfect. But by a lady, but means ladies, he sent down perfect, right?
Yeah.
You don't need a miser by a lady. So
I hear.
He created them perfect, and men they wanted the men to do an action. Maybe because people, forgetting how we live bisman is there, but man is supposed to be a person of action, and a lady not. So
I hear. I don't know if
even the Rebbeinu Shalom couldn't point out something imperfect in a woman.
There you go.
So the husband shouldn't look.
Yeah, I didn't know we're getting a shalom bias schmooze over here. Much Shabbos.
We'll be yotze for your diskehil also shalom bias. So Yossi doesn't have to go back to yeshiva. He can say shalom bias over
here. Yeah, very good. Okay, shir amalabin, the shir of of laundering and manafet's combing, dyeing, and all that is kameloi, right? So we said it's kameloi sit kaful. Rav Yosef machvi kaful. Rav Yosef showed kaful, meaning this twice between the finger and the middle finger. Kaful. Rav Chia Barame machvi pashat. He said he showed it like this, right, from the thumb to the finger, which is Rashi says, which is double this. So it really comes out that it seems like there's no machlokes here. It's just how you go about describing the measurement. So again, it's about a few inches of that would be the measurement. Okay. Now this Mishna, this next Gemara is in Yonah Diyama because it has to do with trapping flies and mosquitoes and all that type of stuff, or those that have dogs and putting the dog into their house on Shabbos and closing the door. Unless you have Aaron's wife's dog, that dog doesn't move, so therefore it doesn't. That's not a trapping issue, right?
She comes and goes as she pleases.
Okay, there you go. I thought you said she don't move at all. Well, that was Simon's dog, one of Simon's.
Are we moving on from women, or we're still on dogs? Which one are we talking?
Okay, we're headed downhill. Yeah.
Who gets to mute parrots?
Okay, so Zog the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda
parrots. If you can trap your wife in the house at any given time.
Listen.
Don't finish it.
Yeah. You try. You used to be. You save a lot of money. That's one thing, right? But not anymore. Not with those Amazon trucks and the FedEx coming down the block like they're getting paid. I guess they are getting paid. Whatever. Anyway, Zok the Mishnah. Yeah. Rabbi Yehuda Aimer Hatzot Tzipor LeMigdol. If you trap a bird So a migdal means how do you touch a migdal again? How do we touch it?
Closet.
I don't know. It means a closet. I mean, that's the way they touch it.
That's the way they try it, by driving it into a closet.
A closet. Wow, I wouldn't have touched it like that. Okay, very good. They know better than me, that's for sure, right?
I don't know about that, but
I know about that. I'm no lady. I'm not perfect. Anyway, so Rabbi Yehuda, Hatzot Tzipor, if you chop a tzipor lemigdal to he's saying a closet, utzvi labayis, and a deer, so a bird going into a closet, that's going to be trapped. A deer into a house is also going to be trapped. Obviously, kol sheken if you put a deer into a closet. But the point is that if you put a bird into a house, that's not trapped. The bird has plenty of room to fly around that house. So you would not be, at least according to Rabbi Yehuda, you would not be chayav for trapping a bird in the house. A bird to a closet, utzvi, lagina, ulachatzer, ulabivarim chayav. And a deer can go into a garden and into a chatzer and bivarim. That's when you're going to be chayav. Okay? R Shimon Ben Gamliel, like all bivarim shavan, all bivarim. How do they touch bivarim? Bivarim is like some sort of karfif type situation.
He says enclosures. Enclosures.
Okay, let's say like a yard. Well, it's a chotzer. The question is what the difference is between a chotzer and a bivarim, right? But it means that it has more room to run around.
There's garden, right? Courtyard, or enclosures.
Okay, yeah. So they're all basically the same thing. So the Chacham is saying tzipor lemigdal, utzvi lagina lechotzer ulebivarim. That's when you're gonna be chayiv even there. According to Rabbi Yehuda, though, if you put a deer into a yard, what would be the din? Potter, right? Because it has plenty of room to run around. So that's a machlokes tonight. Shimon Ben Gamliel, loy kol bivarim shavan. All these enclosures are not the same thing. Zaklal mechusar tzeda potter. She'ena mechusar tzeda chayiv. If it's lacking trapping, then it's going to be potter. Meaning, if by putting it into an enclosure, it's not going to be felt like it's trapped because it has room to run around. So you're potter. But now again, potter means it's potter aval osir. If it's not missing tzeda, then you're chayiv. Meaning, when it means not missing tzeda, that means that if you wanted to grab that deer, you'd have no problem grabbing it, right? You wouldn't have to be re-trapped. It's already considered trapped. We'll see in the Gemara what that means. So Tanan Hasan, we had learned in the Mishna over there. Ain't sudden dagan b'yomtiv. You're not allowed to trap fish from in bivarin on yomtiv. Very nice meaning like an enclosure, a water enclosure. Very nice lefneim designer, and you're not allowed to feed them either. Right? You're not allowed to feed any animals that don't belong to you. Ekaradin are not allowed to be fed. But you are allowed to trap a wild animal and a bird, and you're allowed to feed them. That's what one Mishna says. But a minute, I'll ask you a stira. Bivarin shal chayas v'shal oifus v'shal dogim ain't sadam b'yomtiv. Bivarin of chayas and birds and fish, you're not allowed to trap them on yomtiv. Ain't nice in the flame mezainis, and you do not put mezainis in front of them. So we have a straight out stira. Kasha chaya chaya, kasha oifus oifus. So we have a stira from chaya to chaya, because one says it's allowed and one says allowed to be trapped, and one says not allowed to be trapped. And the same thing by birds. So bishlam chaya chaya loy kasha. So there's no kasha from one wild animal to another. Har Rabbi Yehuda har Rabbana. One is Rabbi Yehuda in the Mishnah, and one is going to be the Rabbana, right? The one that says you're not allowed to trap it, that's Rabbi Yehuda, right? And because Rabbi Yehuda holds you're not chayav and trapping until it goes into your house, but if it's in the yard, it's no problem. And one is talking about the Rabbanan who say once you put the wild animal, a deer has a din of a chaya, then once it goes into the yard, then you're going to be chayav. Ela oifus kasha, but birds is a kasha. V'chitei oifus nami like kasha, and maybe you're going to say that birds is not a kasha. One is talking about a enclosure that has a roof, and one is talking about an enclosure that doesn't have a roof, right? Meaning you'd be chayiv if the bird goes into an enclosure with a roof, and you would not be chayiv if it doesn't have a roof. Now I don't understand how you could possibly have a havamina that a bird going into an enclosure that doesn't have a roof is considered trapped. It just flies right out of there, right? We didn't really have an answer to this when we learned this a couple weeks ago in the morning Chabura, but Okay, but that's what it's saying. That would be the stira. But a house is makayra. Right? According to the Chachamim and Rabbi Yehuda, they both agreed that to trap a bird into a house, it's got plenty of room to fly around, even with a roof, and you're not chayiv. So we're talking about a tzipor dror, what do you call it? How do they touch it? It's there's a way. What do you call it?
A drawer bird is how they touch it.
Oh, how do they touch it? Okay. Okay, we ran out of luck. So it's talking about a bird that behaves itself, right? Meaning it's talking about it knows how to live in a house the same way it lives in a field. Right? It's not makabel morus means ownership, not ownership.
Mastery,
meaning you can't it has its freedom. It doesn't listen, basically. That's what it's saying. The Tana Dvira Bishma Lama Nikra Shema Tzipor Dror. Why is it called a Tzipor Dror? It lives in the house just like it lives in the field. Right? Meaning it's got plenty of freedom there. It's not controlled by anybody. So Hashdas is Lahachi Chaya Chaya Nami Loikasha. So if you're gonna say that's the bird is talking about, one is talking about with this bird that listens, and one is talking about a bird that doesn't listen. So you could say the stira from one wild animal to another wild animal is also Nami Loikasha. Have a beaver gadol, have a beaver katan. One is talking about a large enclosure, one is talking about a small enclosure. Heichidam beaver gadol, what's a big enclosure? Heichidam beaver katan, and what's a small? If you're running after this deer, and it'll take you one lunge to trap it. That's it. Shichya is considered a beaver cotton, and then it would be considered trapped. The idach beaver gadol, and if it's going to take more than one lunge, then it's going to be beaver gadol. So this chat is saying that if the enclosure that you're putting it into, if you wanted to trap the deer and catch it, if all you need to do is lunge once, so I guess figure it's about 3-4 feet. Right, you do one lunge and that's it. That would be around 3-4 feet. That's a beaver cotton, and you'd be chayiv on that. If it's bigger than that, it would require you 2 lunges. Then that means that the animal does have enough freedom, and you would not be chayiv for trapping into that size enclosure. Inami kol echad denafel tula diksalam hadadi beaver cotton. As long as the shade from the fences don't hit each other, then that means that the fences are far enough apart. Right, when you have a fence surrounding something, so at some point in the day, right, both the shade from both fences will combine in the middle. Not combine, they'll hit each other in the middle, right? So that means that they're very small. It's a small enclosure. Right? Normally you have a big enclosure that's, let's say, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet wide. The shade that each wall makes will never hit each other because there's a lot of room in the middle there. But if this enclosure is so small that the shade from each wall would hit each other, that means it's way too small, and therefore you're going to be chayiv if you trap it into something like that. If it doesn't have small little it's indentations, but there's like little cracks in the walls where the animal could hide, right? That's a beaver cotton. The idach beaver gadol. If not, it's a beaver gadol, right? If it doesn't have it anywhere where the animal could hide from you, then that's considered a beaver cotton because it's easily trapped. If it doesn't have these little crevices where it could hide, then it's going to be a beaver gadol. That one I don't understand also so clearly, because what does that mean? That means it doesn't seem like it has to do with size. It has to do with how you built your wall, right? If you built I feel like I'm like in the middle of a war over here. I don't know what you guys, it's crazy with the fireworks. Yeah?
Yeah, they're over here because I hear the bang here, and then I hear it from you.
Yeah, it's nuts. Mom's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy over here also. It's so loud. It's like a war zone.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. Shimon Gamliel. Okay, so that's that. Yeah. So basically, the din is what we're coming out with this Gemara is that if it's a big enclosure, and there's 3 different ways of understanding a big enclosure. then you're not going to be chayiv if you trap the animal into it. If it's a small enclosure, then you're going to be chayiv. Okay, R Shimon Ben Gamliel R Shimon Ben Gamliel says that all bivarin are not equal. So Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. Halacha Rav Shimon Ben Gamliel. The halacha is like Rav Shimon Ben Gamliel. The problem is that nobody argued with Rav Shimon Ben Gamliel in the Mishna. Rav Shimon Ben Gamliel was saying something independent, right? All he said is that bivarin are not the same thing. Some are considered small and some are considered big. So he's saying halacha is like Rav Shimon Ben Gamliel. So Amalei Abai halacha mechlal kepligi. You're saying the halacha is like him. Are you inferring that there's somebody arguing with him? Amalei, my nafka lecham. What do you care? I said the halacha is like Rav Shimon Ben Gamliel. What are you making me crazy? Right? Amalei, Gemara is murtatei. We have to learn Gemara. It's not zmirus, right? You don't just say things for no reason. It has to have a solid reason for why you're saying it, right? Fine. So that's the give and the take there. Tanarabanan hatzad tzvi suma. Right. So now, if you trap a blind deer, the yashin or a deer that's sleeping, chayiv, you're going to be chayiv. So now, what's a pshat? I mean, what's the havamina? So if it's a blind deer, you would think that it doesn't really have that much room to move around anyways. So therefore it should be considered trapped. So if you trap it, you really didn't trap anything. You really didn't do anything wrong. Fine, that's one. And sleeping too. The animal sleeping, we look at an animal sleeping like it's already trapped? It's just sitting in one place. What are you doing to it? So we're saying, no, they're still considered like they have freedom, and therefore you're going to be chayiv if you trap them. Chigar, but if it's lame, v'zaken, and it's old, v'chayla, or sick, then you're going to be potter. Because we look at it like those taka can't move around too much, so therefore you're going to be considered, you're not going to be considered trapping. You still can't do it, but it's not going to be considered trapping. So Amalei Abai Rav Yosef, Mashna Hani. What's the difference between these and these? Hani avidi l'rabuye. Hani lo avidi l'rabuye. These are they're going to jump when you try and get to them, right? Meaning when you try and go to a sleeping animal or a blind animal, that animal will jump and try and run away. But if it's a lame animal or it's old or a chayla, they don't even have the ability because they're shvach. So they don't have the ability to move. So therefore, if you did trap them, you're going to be potter, right? Patanya chayla chayiv. But we learned that a chayla you are chayiv. Rav Sheshes like kasha haba chayla machmas ishta haba chayla machmas uvtzana. One is talking about where is a chayla because of like a fever, right? And one is talking about uvtzana, which is just extremely weak and it can't even move. So ishta, it has a fever, so it'll gather its strength. If you try and get to it too fast, it's going to overcome its fever. But if it has uvtzana, which is just, it totally has no strength, so it doesn't have the ability to move, so therefore it's not, you're not going to be chayiv. Tanrabanan, because it's already considered trapped. Now here's this part right here is the part that's the most negeya lemaisa for us. Tanrabanan, for those of us that don't own dogs. Yeah, Tanrabanan, hatzad chagavin, somebody who traps grasshoppers, gizin, tsirin, viyatushin, b'shabbos. These are all flies and different types of what do you call it? Annoying wasps, flies, mosquitoes. B'shabbos chayiv. Divrei Rameir. So Rameir holds if you trap any of those on Shabbos, you are chayiv. Divrei Rameir. V'chamer kol shebeminoi nitzad chayiv. This is the way we paskin, right? Anything that it's the norm to trap these things, then you're going to be chayiv. V'chol she'ein beminoi nitzad potter. And if it's not meant to be trapped, then you're going to be potter, right? So all these, most people do not trap flies, hornets, wasps. Those things are not meant to be trapped. So therefore,
what about bees?
Bees? I think, but bees is actually the poskim actually discuss whether bees are normally trapped or not. Most poskim come out that bees are not trapped normally, meaning you do trap them for trying to get them to go into the honeycomb, but for the most part, they're not meant to be trapped. But it makes a big difference because if you hold that bees are normally trapped, then it's an issa daraisa, and then when you like in the sukkah and you want to trap the bees, you would not be able to do it. The only reason that we're allowed to trap bees is because it's an issa darabanan, right? And it's a malacha sheina tzricha legufa, which makes it into another rabbanon because trapping, you're not trapping because you want to be, you're trapping because you don't want to be. Right, so that's two derabbanans, and then when you're in pain, right? When you're in pain, so then you're gonna have to, you'll have a heter. But if it's a deraisa,
how you let it trap it on Shabbos? You know, you stick a cup on top of it. All the flies.
Yeah.
You do that with all the flies because you don't want to kill them. How you let it do that?
No, so you can't. You can't. You can only do it if it's really bothering you. But if it's also from the Torah to trap it, then even if it's bothering you, you wouldn't be able to. You'd have
bothering
to go away.
Is considered hurting?
What do you mean? If it's hurting? No. So that's the thing. If it's a fly, that's not a reason. There's never any really heter to catch a fly. But a bee, where people are scared of stinging, then there's more of a heter. Yeah. Mosquitoes really questionable. Most poskim say mosquitoes you cannot trap.
Are you allowed to set up
things?
Are you allowed to set up devices before Shabbos?
Yes, yeah. You say this is all talking about on Shabbos.
On Shabbos.
Yes, before Shabbos you set up whatever you want. Yeah, that's no problem.
I'm allergic to a bee sting. What does that do?
If you're allergic, then that's pasha de sakana. Then avada you trap. You might even be able to kill it.
Even on Shabbos?
When I asked the Shiloh, because my wife is allergic to bee stings, I was told I could murder all of them.
There you go. With his guns. Watch out. Watch out, yeah. But,
where do you get a single bee gun, not a BB gun?
His wife or the bees?
Oh.
They actually make a little gun that you fill with table salt. It's called an assault rifle, and it's for killing bees and mosquitoes.
So that's actually might be the next Gemara, this next line here. But anyway.
I'm sorry, just a quick thing. So you said you're allowed to do something before Shabbos. Are you allowed to make a contraption for, let's say I wanted to catch a deer before Shabbos, just to trap it?
As long as you set it up enough time before Shabbos, then you can, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, but again, the point is that the main rule you have to try and know to whether you're allowed to trap it or not is it minay nitzad? Is it normally trapped or is it not normally trapped? Almost all situations, it's not normally trapped. Stuff that we're not normally trapping, I think. Right? And a mouse, the place can also discuss a mouse because people do trap mice. Not because they want the mice, they don't want the mice, but they do trap mice. So if that's the case, so is it considered something trapped that people normally trap? In which case it would be an issa deraisa. And then if there's a mouse running around your house and the ladies, the perfect ladies of the house are going crazy, right? So then you might have a heter. But if you hold that it's also deraisa, then you're really not going to have much of a heter, right?
Right. Is dogs considered normally trapped, or that's not because we don't eat them, or it's normally trapped because we actually, right? Is trapping just for food, or trapping is also for other uses?
No, anything. It would be for anything, but it's still usher. It's just a matter of whether you're going to be chayiv. It's still usher to trap, right? That's why with the dogs, if you have a dog, and the dog is a wild dog, meaning any time you open the door to your house, that dog tries to run out. Then it's really not simple that you can come into your house from shul and close the door to your house because you're trapping that dog. If the dog behaves itself and it sits down, it doesn't always care to run away. So by you closing the door, you're not really trapping it. It's very happy in the house. Right? So that can make a difference. So what the place can do say is if you have one of those dogs that tries to leave, then you just got to open the door when you come home on Shabbos. You open the door like a little bit and squeeze yourself in. Like this, you never really unopen the door. That's really the way you have to do it.
Would be a problem, and like cages, playpens and like cages would be a real issue.
Yes, to put a dog back in a cage it's very schwer. That's very schwer. If it goes in itself, then to close the gate, it's not simple. It's really not simple at all. But it could be that if you look at it like it's already trapped in the house, that's what we're saying. If it's already considered trapped when it's in the house, so then there's no issue for you to re-trap something that's already trapped. Right?
Does the yard affect it? If you have a gated yard,
right? But the problem is that if it has room to run around in the yard, then it's not trapped. So then you are trapping it.
But if they're small, like everyone's dog is now, pretty much, there's room for them to run in the house also.
Correct. So then it would be a problem to put into a cage. You'll have to figure that out. Yeah. Okay, weiter. Tanya Yidoch, Hatzor Chagovim. So we had another braysa. If you trap grasshoppers, b'shas hatal, when the dew is coming down, potter. So then you potter. B'shas hasherev chayiv. But when it's boiling hot, then you're going to be chayiv. Meaning, because when there's dew there, it affects the moisture, affects them and doesn't allow them to move. So therefore, you're going to be potter. But when it's very hot, then they still can move. So then it's still going to be considered trapping. If they're swarming, then you're going to be potter on it, because since there's so many of them, it's very easy to catch, and it's not any big deal. Fine. So is he going on in the rain, or is he going on in the heat? To trap grasshoppers when there's dew, you potter. B'shas hasherev chayev, when it's very hot, you're chayev. Even when it's very hot, potter. If there's many of them, then you are going to be potter. Okay, so let's just do the next mission in the Gemara. It's very short. If you have a deer that goes into a house, this is more negaya to those that have dogs. If a deer goes into the house, and one person locks the door in front of it, chayiv. Meaning it doesn't really mean lock the door. The pasha, the thing is like one person stands in the doorway so that the tzvi can't leave. So he's going to be chayiv. No lushnayim, but if the doorway's big, I'm sorry, the doorway, that's not the case. No lushnayim, but if it's a doorway that one would be able to close it in and two people do it, then the potter, like we discussed, because shnayim shasu on Shabbos, two people that do something that can be done by one is going to make you potter. Lo yochal echad linol. If one person can't close it up because the doorway is very wide, but no lushnayim and two people do it, chayav, and then you're chayav. Rav Shimon potter. Rav Shimon always says potter, right? He doesn't care about. He says shnayim shasu is always potter. Amar Rav Yirmiyah Zok the Gemara. Amar Yirmiyah Rav Amar Shmuel Atzad Ari b'Shabbos. If you trap a lion on Shabbos, einay chayiv achi yachnisu legurzik yishaloi. If you trap a lion, so a lion's very wild. So if you put it into a standard trap, you're not chayiv anything because that lion can get out of it, right? But if you have, the only time you're going to be chayiv is once you put it into its legitimate like cage where it can no longer get out. And then you're going to be chayiv. Okay, fine. That's enough. Okay, a good vach and a good yar. And
a good vach.
Okay, good vach.
Byron, what number jersey are you wearing? My kids want to try to figure out who the player is.
I think he logged out.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
No, it's the year. It's the end of last year. It's Shay.
It's not.
He's been Googling it the whole time. Is it 08, 80 or something?
It's the last shirt. They gave him out on 08, the last year at City Field. They gave him out at Shea. They gave him out the whole year. If it was a Yankee shirt, it would be Yogi Berra, but that's partially be Yogi Berra. It's only 8 is Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good vach.
You have a little time later?
You can tell to me right now. I got 2 minutes now.